It is the perfect song. You are right. Welcome back to Arizona Daily Mix. Okay, did you know that those toys and those figurines that you collected as a child, you played with, could be worth thousands of dollars right now? Here to talk more about that is Roland Hill. He is the founder of Blue Leaf Estate Auctions. Nice to have you back on the show as always. Yeah. So let's talk about these vintage toys and how you know what they're worth and how valuable they are.
Well, you have to do your research. I mean, you'll run across, you go to estate auctions and sales, and you'll find toys. There are toys everywhere. And you just have to look them up and see what they're listed for, see what people are selling them for at auctions and around the world.
So it does take a little bit of time.
Takes time. You have to do your research, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what you brought here in front of us first, and how do you know how much all of this is worth?
Well, like the G.I. Joes. G.I. Joes were really popular back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip, remember that one? So G.I. Joes have been around, and these G.I. Joes are the boxes. Looks like they've never been out of the box. The boxes are pretty much in pristine condition. So you take a look at that, and you Google it, and you find out what it's worth.
So it's the packaging too?
It's the packaging. Oh yeah, sometimes you can just sell the box itself.
Really?
Yes, the boxes are valuable without the toys.
Good to know that too. I did not know.
Garbage Pail Kids. Who would have thunk it? But some of those cards are worth quite a bit of money.
So what is the history behind some of the other toys that you brought here? Because not everything is a toy.
Right. This is the Roy Rogers jacket. Before I was a kid, Roy Rogers was really popular, and a lot of the kids, they wanted the Roy Rogers jackets, they wanted the binoculars and the horses and things like that. So this is in an estate that this came from the guy's grandfather, so he was a child and this was popular. So
when you look at items like this, what can they typically go for? Just if you were going to generalize it.
They could go for thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars. You have to do your homework, because if you walk in and you see a comic book and you say, well, it's old, so it's got to be worth a lot of money. It's not necessarily worth a lot of money, but it could be. So you have to do your research on these.
So we have an additional full table of toys that we love for you to take a shot of so that everybody can see. You know, there are a lot of Star Wars collectibles in this estate sale. Why do these types of collectibles have so much value?
Well, you know, there's some huge collectors out there, especially in Star Wars, you know, like the lightsabers and a lot of the toys from Star Wars. How many Star Wars movies have there been?
Exactly.
You know? How many generations? How many generations are Star Wars? So a lot of the toys are really popular, and people just collect them.
So if you're somebody sitting at home and maybe you have a relative who's passed away, has a collection of some sort, maybe it's baseball cards, where do you begin the process of figuring out what you have and if it's of any value?
I would say turn to the internet.
Okay, that's the first step.
That's the first step. Look on eBay and some of the other sites and see what things are actually selling for, not listed for, but selling for. And if that's too much for you, give us a call. We'll be happy to go through your collection and kind of evaluate it.
And when you do go through a collection and you do an evaluation like that for somebody, what's the fee involved in something like that?
Well, there's no fee in evaluation. We don't do appraisals. We'll evaluate it for you. There's no fee. But we will, if we sell it, go to auction, then that's when the fee comes in. Okay,
so you have an auction coming up with the toy collectibles. Tell us about that.
That auction will be August 25th, and it will be at the home where these toys were collected and stored. It'll be there. We'll start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we'll probably be done close to 11. We go pretty fast, and everything goes to the highest bidder. The last hand in the air owns it. There are no minimums, there are no reserves.
Any tips you would advise for somebody who's going to an auction for the first time?
Make sure that's what you want to buy. And when you raise your hand, make sure you want to raise your hand.
And that you have the cash to pay for it.
Absolutely. Stop by the bank.
Okay. Let me give people your email address, or excuse me, your website address in case they have any information that they need in addition to what we've given them. At 602blue.com. It's Roland Hill, founder of Blue Leaf Estate Auctions. Great items here and some great advice as well. Thank you for being here.